This program may include adult language, implied nudity, smoking, and dangerous wordplay.
That's right. I'm Pete Monfre, and it's Thursday, and here I am on LinkedIn Live talking B2B marketing. We do it 11 o'clock Central Time from beautiful Austin, Texas, every Thursday. And today we're talking about it's a subreddit. So we're going to poke some fun at the ubiquitous, People's Republic of Reddit. And they have a very active R marketing subreddit. So if you're not on Reddit, R marketing is like a sub forum of a giant forum, more like a gladiator type of situation where if you go into Reddit, you better have some armor. But it's a really active marketing subreddit with, tens of thousands of members. So I sort of look at it like a way to keep my thumb on what's happening behind the scenes in the industry. But, on our marketing, there are no dumb questions. There are only dumb people. No, I'm just kidding. There are also just dumb questions. But I picked a few questions that are intriguing, and I thought we would take a look at them through the magic of the internet. Let's take a look. We'll just start with whatever one's on the screen. Now, I haven't scrolled down and looked at the answers, and that's kind of what I'm interested in. Is I think these questions are interesting, and I'm just teasing. They're not. There is no dumb question, but there definitely are dumb answers. And with Reddit, the answer could be anything. So I think it's pretty entertaining. But let's make fun of people on Reddit. Marketing question by a developer. Why would marketing specialists not accept my deal of giving them 50% of any projects they land my software development firm ? They ask for money up front with no guarantees to getting clients. I think I got that. So he wants to pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Okay, I got it. Seems like they're not confident that they can actually do what I ask them to. Otherwise, they would have accepted the 50% offer. Maybe not. Why would I pay hundreds of dollars to someone who can't 100% guarantee me that he will get me projects that will help me make up that money? Now, what's interesting to me about this is this person says they're a developer, right? So they're kind of looking at it through their lens, where everything is either black or white. Where marketing has plenty of gray area, but really wants that guarantee. So if you got me at $1,000 project, this sentence is hard. Sorry. If you, letter U, got me $1,000 project, I'm more happy to give you $500, but I can't understand why I'd pay you $500 if you didn't get me anything yet and can't guarantee that you will. Whew, I'm sorry, but maybe, the young people can read the abbreviations faster. So, okay, don't mean to offend. So, really, he's asking an honest question. He's not trying to be a jerk or anything. Or, it's not a dumb question, really, but because he sees it a certain way. But here comes Reddit. You're looking for a salesperson, not a marketer. We work similarly but differently. Think front designer, back end. So this person knows something about development. That's pretty good, But this person says, and I don't know if I can pronounce that, Callie and Huntress. I might ask, why can't I find a developer to work for free and then get paid when people buy the code? If they're good programmers, they should be confident that their code is good enough to sell. Your product may suck. Marketers get asked all the time to market sucky ideas that do not have a product market fit. So marketing isn't just about getting customers, that's sales. You can find commissioned salespeople, that's easy, but marketing is the communication strategy, brand awareness, customer research. Makes selling easy and costs money up front. So he or she or they get the award for today. Yes, exactly. Marketing agency owner here gives a diplomatic answer. There are too many variables beyond our control. Marketing is about generating leads, making the phone ring, so to speak. Sales is closing the deal. So what's interesting here is that there's definitely some people from the marketing industry here, and they're saying, hey, there's a demarcation between these functions. And so, we're here to set up the ball for you to spike. And so the OP, U processor, is actually getting some pretty good advice. And then I like this real answer. We don't work on spec because we don't have to. We have paying clients on monthly retainers who see enough value in our services to, one, take a chance on us, and two, stick with us for years on end. So yes, exactly. Remember, people don't understand that. That may be your reality with your business, but the outside world doesn't understand that. But this person's exactly right. If you're good, the problem really becomes having too much work where you don't have any kind of life. So, marketer here, I have bills I need to pay every month. You're asking me to put my talent and skills into something for free until it gets picked up, etc. I mean, we're not going to go through every post here, but this person, Zem Chastain, great point, mentioned sales cycle. Could be 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, longer. I hope it's not longer, because you can actually control your sales process. That's something that is doable. So if anybody's curious about that, let me know. But this person's exactly right. In other words, there's a million variables here that the marketing people, marketing firm, marketing team, they don't control the, closing the deal. It's a different set of skills. Although in some companies they're combined. This one I picked, and these are just from this morning, so these are all fresh. So I've been kind of watching Reddit for a while as a way to have my thumb kind of on the industry and see what's going on sort of behind the scenes. A lot of these people, they're working for agencies, or they're seeking work, or they're starting agencies, and then there's some old seasoned people on there that are giving advice, and then a lot of pettiness and craziness. But we see this kind of post all the time. And let me show you the post first. So how do you physically do marketing? Okay, this might be simple, but how do I actually do the marketing for a brand? I'm looking to set up a marketing company, but one of the hurdles that I want to figure out before starting is how I actually do the marketing. How do they actually do the marketing? Like I'm stuck. I can't even get past the sentence. If I reach out to a brand that sells pens, do I ask for their login information so that I can run the ads and whatnot? It's really the whatnot that gets you, in marketing. And I do ask for their logins. How in the world do I structure that conversation to ensure them that I'm not just going to run off with their Facebook, Instagram, or Google accounts? Maybe I'm overthinking. So I'm not exactly sure what this person's asking, but there's a couple of parts that are common. One is, hey, I'm looking to set up a marketing company, but one of the hurdles I want to figure out before starting is actually how I do the marketing. So, okay, let's say this person, there's a very low barrier to entry, right? And so, this person can definitely start a company, probably already did, and has a website, looks great, says all the right things, but they're going to Reddit and they're being like, how do I do the thing? And the very first, Reddit doesn't disappoint. Austere Wolf says, okay, this might be a simple question, but how do I actually remove a wisdom tooth for a patient? I'm looking to set up a clinic, but one of the hurdles is how to actually do wisdom tooth removal. If I reach out to random people that may have, let's say, discomfort or an infection caused by a wisdom tooth, do I just ask to come into my clinic so I can rip it out or whatnot? I must say, as somebody who's worked in that industry, that ripped it out is probably not good marketing language, but very funny take. Exactly. And then if I do ask them to come in, how in the world do I explain that I will not run off with their money and mess up their oral health? I think maybe the original poster does some sort of social media where they need to get login. That didn't make sense to me, but maybe that's what they mean by that. Do I ask them for the login if I buy a pen? No, they didn't ask me for my login to get this. This is one of those Bic pens. Hey, it may be overthinking it. Seems like the hard pitch to say, hey, yeah, I can pull out your wisdom tooth in my apartment, a.k.a. clinic, but all I need is your money and confidence in me, thanks. This is you. No one should pay you until you get actual experience. Work in an agency, learn as much as you can, and then as a qualified specialist, offer services. So they are exactly right. So the OP is definitely getting some good advice. That's a good comparison. I can appreciate that. I do have to say I'm a bit taken aback by the way people have responded, and maybe that's my own fault. So just probably getting used to Reddit there. It's not a great idea to start a service business within a field you don't have any experience or expertise in. Just a thought, which actually is, to be technical, is a hanging preposition. So I think it should say maybe don't start a service business within a field you don't have experience or expertise in, you jerk face. Okay, now I fixed the sentence, but they're correct. Learn the basics, get some internships, and so he's actually getting some pretty good advice. But this is such a common thing. That's why I wanted to highlight it. Is one, I'm setting up a company to learn to take money from companies to do their marketing, and I don't know even what it is. And this is super common, and that should scare you. And if it doesn't, you'll probably give it advice on Reddit. Let's look at the next one. Hey, I run a growing startup with zero marketing. Please help. So this one is kind of interesting. My partner and I run a relatively successful startup, no marketing presence, without too much information. That's a hybrid real estate, blah, blah, blah. Strong backgrounds in finance real estate. They want to overcome this marketing hump and have stronger digital presence. Digital presence, that's the key. The thing is, we don't know how to get started. We know the target audience, and we're not concerned about the inability to land new clients. So what they're saying there is, hey, look, we got all the clients that we can stand. That's not what we need marketing for. So it's pretty insightful. We find getting new clients to be on the easier side of company operations. Is a good problem to have. Our problems are with company documents, branding, pitch deck designs, web, social, advertising, etc. And at the moment, they just have a website and LinkedIn. So, it's interesting because in a couple different ways, they're like a lot of people where they're really saying, hey, we've got a pretty good sense of the market. We have a pretty good idea of what we want to do, but we don't know where to start. I mean, that's what I get from that. We're not sure where to start, but we're not concerned about marketing as a driver of new business, but cosmetic. How do we look? Professionalism, maybe. Their brand, but they're small, so keep that in mind. And so let's see, what do we have? Most agencies aren't going to be worth the cost. If you're mostly worried about branding, find a solid freelancer with a strong portfolio and try to nail that part first. Once you lock that down, I think you could pivot to a freelancer to help with your digital and social advertising. Not bad advice. A little bit risky. Depends on how big they are. And I mean, if they have zero budget, and it looks like kind of that's where it's going. How do you suggest finding freelancers outside of Fiverr? Whew, that person's in for a rough ride. But it looks like he did get some help. This person is a B2B tech branding experience for a public company and recommends a basic brand guideline that addresses key messaging and visual identity. And once you have the building blocks, you can start to develop the rest of your touch points. I've had success with smaller agencies as well as contractors. So this is interesting to me because this person, they work with a public company, and their lens is public company, right? So yes, create this document that's brand messaging, and technically they're right. But if they're a company that has very little resources, that's really not going to. I don't think that's going to have a ton of value for them. In fact, maybe I even think they're too worried about that part of it. If they're winning clients and they're making money and they're growing the way they want to be, not sure they ought to be worrying about it. Of course, they could look really terrible. There is that. So let's look at another one. Is this fun? I like making fun of people, but then I try to make fun of them, but a lot of people actually make some pretty good points. And it gives me some insight into how people see the whole industry. So can anyone recommend a good LinkedIn agency for paid ads? I've got a client looking to change their B2B tech marketing agency and help drive their LinkedIn paid ads. Okay, so the client, this person is a third party to the client, and they're looking to change their B2B tech marketing agency. So they have an agency to drive their LinkedIn paid ads. So they're pretty sold on, they've diagnosed themselves and they've already prescribed LinkedIn paid ads, right? And they're having trouble with that. It's a cybersecurity company. They'd like an agency that can help with structure, media plan, ad creation, a LinkedIn campaign manager. This is great. It's good stuff. Email native, knows what they're talking about and looking for help. They're not getting results on spend, and paid ads aren't their main skill set. Okay, they're not getting results on spend, and paid ads aren't their main skill set. but they're super sold on paid LinkedIn ads, right? Martech is my wheelhouse. Open to recommendations. Have you an agency you like to recommend? So you're turning to strangers on the public internet to ask what LinkedIn agency that they recommend to run off a cliff of no ROI because you've been doing it. It's confusing to me. I don't know. But let's see what the Redditors say. There's lots of ads because I'm not even logged in, actually. Because I really don't participate, but I like to read it. A little about me. About a year ago, finished a course in digital marketing. Got a bachelor's degree in business administration. Got hired immediately to work for a small startup. A digital marketing specialist, helped them with SEO and other digital marketing activities, but quickly progressed to doing Amazon ads, etc. I barely do any SEO at all. I write a few blogs now and then. Recently started doing some Google ads. At first it was fun. I'm not even going to read the rest of that one because I'm really not sure where it's going. Oh, wait, we're into a different... Wait a minute here. We got lost for a second. I think... Oh, you know what? There aren't any comments yet. Let's reload this page and see if we've got some comments. I think we jumped to some other thread there. Let's see, do we have any comments? Oh, there's one. Nope. All right. Well, this is interesting. As I said, they sort of diagnosed and prescribed, and they're just focused on this thing that isn't working, and they want to double down and do more of it, but just with somebody else. And so I thought that was a good one. This one is fun, too. For a fashion brand, should we do social media advertising ourselves, outsource it, or not do it at all? Reasonable question. Should we do it? It's a broad question because it goes from should we do it or not even do it. We don't even, And then if we do it or not, we should maybe have someone else do it, or should we do it? But probably not. I don't know. So run a fashion brand with a partner. For context, we both have university-level marketing MBAs. Okay, wait a minute. We've been doing it for 18 months, some of it part-time due to wrapping up school. Okay, understand. Wait a second, though. Wait, let's give them a chance. Our sales are pretty solid for a young brand. Most of our sales comes from a small group of people within a certain niche of people. So we host events and pop-ups, which are good for our sales. But even though our brand recognition is good, our social media following, really small in my opinion, 700 followers, pretty small. Now, if we're trying to strategically grow and attract investors, they go on to ask some pretty good questions. And, again, Reddit to the rescue. You have a master's degree in marketing and don't know the answer. LOL, which I believe means laugh out loud. I think in the younger person's language. I'm not sure. No, laugh out loud. Okay, but then this is the great part. So, all right, let's go through this. Who wears your clothes? Men, women's, kids. All right, so they start working on it there. But the thing is that we have this big, giant flaw here. Do they not cover apostrophe usage? Well, maybe not. It might not be part of MBA. Thanks for the feedback. It's worth learning because you need to know if you're being taken for a ride. It's your business. Too many clients don't need to know, or too many clients don't know what's going on, even when you tell them, because we pay you to think as whether you need to do it yourself. It depends on how much time you have. I mean, there's so many variables, so definitely getting some good advice. But, I think Reddit is fairly entertaining if you do like gladiator movies. And so I do recommend you check that out. But I guess the moral of the story today is just kind of buyer beware. There's definitely patterns there that I see where they're, again, very low barrier to entry. And on future episodes and on the blog, we'll talk about, how to spot them. We do this all the time on this program because it is such a Wild West. There's a lot of risk in hiring a marketing partner. And so one of the things that I put forth is try to find one that's been in business for a while. And in our case, we've been in this, there's a lot of fear around the recession happening right now. And so this will be our 5th recession as a business over the last 30 years. So we hope you'll join us, Bill, Lowell, and I from Business Development Directives. See if we get it on the screen nice and square. There we go. Much better. Guide to Marketing in a Recession. Again, it's our 5th one. So we've been through this quite a bit. And so we just want to help you avoid some of the mistakes that we sort of learned the hard way. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed marketing on Reddit because there's a lot to learn. And then also some people have a lot to learn. See you next week.